Now, the Eye Catch is brought to you by Tradie Sports Hydration. And Sunday, 2 p.m, Lockie Galvin comes up against the Tigers. I reckon that Tigers fans would have circled this one for a while. And I know at the moment there's a real thing in the game, and I understand sometimes players get booed and they get booed for the wrong reasons. But you know, if you're a professional athlete and you're out there, I think Lockie, mate, he's big enough and ugly enough to cop some boos out there.
And he knows it's coming. I just hope he doesn't antagonise.
Yeah.
You know, if he scores or they win, hopefully he just.
He's allowed to celebrate if he wins.
Oh, he does, but I just, you don't want to sort of rub their nose in it.
No, I don't think he's that sort of bloke.
And, mate, it's going to be a hell of a game. On Fox League, 2 p.m, Dogs up against the Tigers. Tell you what, mate, Galvin and particularly Burton, their running game last week. Burton in particular, it's the best game I've seen him in a 6 jersey. And the reason he can do this, boys, a lot of people, Dogs were criticised 18 months ago about all the utilities they signed. But it's guys like Salmon and Kurtman, to less extent Curran, a little bit of ball playing, bit of vision. They can get the ball where it needs to go and allow these two blokes to react and run.
You play odds in the halves. Don't you think with Galvin, that extra speed that Sexton probably didn't have, and he plays that much straighter, that's going to make Burton a better player?
I think he probably frees Burton up a little bit. Yeah, he does.
Because it's a big body, he'll actually find more holes.
Yeah, it's obviously a trust thing that he's got now, that Burton can now play the running game. He doesn't have to worry about, as you said, setting up every play, making sure we get to the right positions on the field. It's just, for Burton now, it's more of a, I'll play what I see in front of me.
And Hindy, that's Burton's game.
Yeah.
Burton's game is feed early or run, and it's a discipline to keep the game simple, if that's your game. I tell you what, mate, the Canterbury have got the best edges as far as attack, maybe defence as well in the competition. On the left, you got Viliami Kikau and Bronson Cherry, and on the right you got Presto, Jacob Preston and Stephen Crichton. Bronson Cherry, fair dinkum. Honestly, the best centre in the competition is on the right side. His teammate Stephen Crichton. Mate, I reckon this time next year it could be Bronson Cherry.
Well, he's known for his attack. When he came through at Cronulla, he's big and fast, but not many people get around him or through him. So defensively, that's why, they're quite miserly with letting their points in, and it's because of both their centres, how they fly up, force everyone back in.
Strong in yardage too. Yeah. He's as good in yardage as he has in defence or in attack and good ball.
There's no weakness in their game, and the thing about them is it's very Penrith-like. Their real strength is the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's where they just get into back and forward battle, and then the real magic comes on, and fatigue sets in, and those utility players you talk about, they're able to find a bit of space in the middle.
It'd be really interesting to find out, because he's coming off an incredible high. They were brilliant, the Bulldogs, on Sunday against the Manly Seagulls, and in particular, I thought his first real big stage, big opportunity in the new colours. Obviously an important day for the club, celebrating the 95 premiership winning side. Big crowd at Allianz Stadium, where the final series it will be part of. And I thought he handled that terrifically well. To Cameron's credit, he's made some brave calls. He backed him. It's as tough as it is, and there's not a person in the game, I don't think, that feels for Toby Sexton, given that he was playing decent footy and he'd got him to the top of the ladder. But sometimes as a coach, you've got to make those tough decisions. If you feel that you're at that point that you can get to with the squad that you've got, and you've got an opportunity to bring someone in that makes the team better and can get you to change gears and find that next level, that's what he felt he's clearly had with Lockie. And I think now the fact that Lockie's been put into that number 7, Sexton's not in the squad, so it just allows him to build those combinations with Reid and build them with Matt Burton, Connor Tracy, those guys. But these last 2 weeks have been great. These last 2 weeks have been really good. Given that he's come over, what's he been there for 6 or 8 weeks? He's a great talent. Remember years ago watching, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks out from the finals, when Craig Bellamy brought Jerome Hughes into halfback and dropped Brodie Croft, who'd been there for the whole season. And there'd been a lot of raps that Brodie was sort of that next Cooper Cronk, and it was a big call. I don't remember exactly what, but it was close to the finals. And you felt, boy, that's going to have to work. That's a big call. Look where Jerome is now. Yeah. So, those good coaches that got to make tough decisions, but at the same time, got to back yourself and back your feel. And Cameron's been there now for a couple of seasons, knows what he wants his footy side to look like, knows probably where they needed to find those small improvements. They were sitting at the top of the competition, but maybe he felt that when they came up against Melbourne and Penrith and the Raiders, when it got to the finals, that they needed something different, and Lockie brings that. And just seeing the way that Matt Burton performed on the weekend, the way that Connor Tracy performed on the weekend, and a number of the other guys in that Bulldogs side, it's worked. Look, I think we'll see a huge crowd there Sunday. And there's been a couple. Obviously, the game against Parramatta. I think the Galvin situation probably drew in another 10 or 15,000 to the stadium because everyone wanted to see him play his first game. I think this will be no different. Everyone, very rarely in the modern game do we see players come to blows or there's no fighting and anything like that. The game's changed in that regard, but there's still the hostilities, and the game has great tribalism. And it just takes something like Galvin leaving the Tigers to come to the Bulldogs. Everything that sort of surfaced at that point in time around the leaders and the Instagram posts and all that stuff adds to that tribalism and that theatre around Galvin, the situation. And so therefore there's no doubt that we'll see those emotions, and both in the stands through the fans and also on the field. But I think that battle between Luai and Galvin will be an absolute ripper on Sunday.
It's not about Lockie. It's not about the Dogs. It's about us, and that's all we need to focus on is putting on a good performance in front of our home fans. That's a story everyone wants to talk about. Is Tigers versus Lockie, but for us here inside our four walls, it's about us and how we perform on game day.
I think that's Lockie for a moment. Have you spoken to him much? See him flexibly?
Nah. Should I have?
No, should you? I don't know.
Nah, that's not my job. He's not here. He's not part of my team. And like I said, bro, my focus is me and my boys.
The fans probably go pretty hard at Lockie and boo. Is that because they pay their money? They're allowed to do that.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end. That's the game of rugby league. It's a fan-driven game, so you got to expect that. But good luck to Lockie.
He loves it, Jerome.
Yeah.
He loves the battle. And that's what's made him great for so long. He's a incredible competitor, and he's brought that to Penrith, 4 premierships, 1 Origin series where he's been up in the face of the opposition, and it's hard not to love what he brings to a footy side. And as I said, whilst they haven't got the results that they probably would have hoped for initially, they have had some challenges this year. The Tigers, and Galvin's one of those. But in the long term, seeing Jerome say that he's there for life and seeing how much commitment he showed to them, I think that continues to galvanise the group, and I think we'll see the benefits of Jerome really start to play his best footy, whether it's the back end of this year or even next year. But the battle between him and Lockie on Sunday, I think, is the one that, we're all looking forward to it. We're all looking forward to it.